Okay, so you want to own a Mustang GT, 480 horsepower, a V8 you can actually hear, and a price tag that looks almost reasonable next to anything with a European badge on it. You've already done the math in your head. Payment, insurance, gas, it's a stretch, but it works. Here's the problem. The number on that window sticker is nowhere close to what this car actually cost you. And the missing money isn't one giant expense you forgot about, it's seven smaller bills hiding behind the sticker. And some of them have gotten dramatically more expensive in the last few years for reasons that have nothing to do with Ford. So let's actually do the math. Start with the sticker because even that isn't quite what you think it is. The 2026 Mustang GT Fastback starts at $46,800 before destination, taxes, and fees. Then add destination. And if you're taking the 6-speed manual, there's another line most buyers have never heard of, the federal gas guzzler tax, $1,000. That's not a dealer fee. You can't negotiate it away. It's a federal excise tax created under the 1978 Energy Law. And here's the weird part. Ford currently doesn't charge extra for the 10-speed automatic on the base GT, but the manual gets hit with the $1,000 gas guzzler tax, while the automatic's better fuel economy allows it to avoid the tax. So the transmission enthusiasts usually want is actually the more expensive choice to buy. And that's before you've paid a single dollar of sales tax. That's the first thing to understand about this car. The sticker isn't the cost. It's just where the cost starts. Because once you leave the dealership, there's seven major costs sitting behind the number. Some are predictable, some depend almost entirely on you, and the last one is the biggest cost of all. So let's start at the moment you actually buy the car. The first bill hiding behind the sticker is sales tax. And it's one of the easiest costs to forget about because it doesn't make the Mustang any better. Take a $46,800 Mustang and put it in a state with an effective sales tax rate around 7%. You're suddenly talking about roughly $3,300 in tax. And that money buys you exactly nothing. No horsepower, no better seats, no Brembos, no extra warranty. It's simply the price of registering the transaction where you live. And this is where location starts becoming a major part of the economics. Some states have no general sales tax at all. Others can push the effective rate significantly higher. And if you're financing that tax, you're not just paying the tax, you're potentially paying interest on the tax too. That's why the price on the window sticker and the amount you're financing can be two very different numbers, which brings us to the second bill, financing. And this is one of the costs that got significantly worse in the last few years. Before 2022, a good new car loan could be somewhere around 4 to 5%. Today, new car rates are considerably higher, with average rates around the mid 6% range and 60-month loans often approaching 7%. So let's use a clean example. Let's call the Mustang $50,000 out of the door. That's the number we're going to use for the financing example after the vehicle price, destination, taxes, and fees. Put 10% down, that's $5,000 down, and $45,000 finance at 6.94% for 60 months. That's roughly a $889 monthly payment and about $8,300 in interest over the life of the loan. Now change one thing, not the car, not the price, not the loan term, just your credit. At roughly 4.55%, that payment drops to around $840 and the total interest falls to roughly $5,400. At around 9%, the payment climbs toward $934 and total interest approaches $11,000. That's a difference of roughly $5,600 in interest on the exact same Mustang. The GT Performance package, if you wanted that, costs around $5,000. Brembos, Magna Ride, Torsen Limited slip differential, larger wheels. So basically, your credit score is an option package. It's just one you ordered years ago and you can't add it at the dealership. Then comes the bill that's probably the most personal, insurance, because the price of the car matters, but who you are matters a lot more than most buyers realize. A GT coupe can average around $161 a month for full coverage for a mature driver with a clean record and good credit. But change the driver and the number doesn't drift, it detonates. At 25, you could be looking at roughly $200 to $350 a month. At 21, roughly $300 to $510. And at 18, depending on the carrier and the circumstances, you can see numbers north of $600 a month, and in some quotes, well over $1,000. Same Mustang, same basic coverage, completely different economics. And that's why shopping insurance matters. Two companies can give you dramatically different prices for the exact same driver, car, and coverage. The Mustang isn't necessarily the problem. Your age, driving record, location, and insurance company can matter just as much, and sometimes dramatically more, which is why insurance isn't really a Mustang cost, it's a you cost. Then there's the cost you feel every time you stop at the pump. Premium fuel. The GT is rated around 18 miles per gallon combined with the manual. At 15,000 miles a year, that's roughly 830 to 850 gallons. And the important number isn't just how much gasoline costs, it's the premium. Regular gasoline is around $4 a gallon nationally right now, while premium can be close to $5 depending on the market. Historically, that spread was much smaller. So if you're paying roughly $5 a gallon, you're spending around $4,200 a year on fuel. That's roughly $350 a month, and that adds up to more than $21,000 over 5 years. And you don't have to run premium. The engine isn't going to explode, but Ford recommends premium fuel for the GT. And if you're buying a 480 horsepower V8, I'm going to assume you're actually going to feed it what Ford intended. So the gas station isn't just a stop, it's a recurring ownership bill. And over 5 years, it's a big one. Then there's the part people wave off with, it's a Ford, parts are cheap. Half true. Start with the warranty because it determines where the risk lives. The basic bumper to bumper warranty is 3 years or 36,000 miles. At 15,000 miles a year, you hit the mileage limit after about 2.4 years or so. So during a 5-year, 75,000 mile ownership period, roughly 39,000 miles happen after the basic warranty has expired. The powertrain warranty lasts longer, 5 years or 60,000 miles, but that still leaves the final 15,000 miles from that 75,000 miles of your 5-year scenario, and that's outside of the powertrain warranty. Routine maintenance isn't outrageous. Oil changes can run roughly $136 to $160. Spark plugs around $230 to $320. And we haven't even talked about if you need to replace the brakes. The bigger surprise though is that the Mustang's maintenance isn't necessarily expensive because it breaks constantly. It can be expensive because you're maintaining a performance car. And then you get to tires. And almost nobody thinks about them when they're calculating the monthly payment. The base GT comes with 255/45 18s, Continental Pro Contact TX tires at all 4 corners. That means you can rotate them, which is nice, and Ford currently sells the replacement tire for about $245 each. That's $980 for a set of 4 before installation. Now, at 15,000 miles a year, you're putting 75,000 miles on the car over 5 years. How many sets you'll actually go through depends heavily on alignment, driving style, road conditions, and how aggressively you're using that V8. But let's say you go through roughly 3 sets over 75,000 miles. That's about $2,940 in tires before mounting and balancing. And now we get to the biggest cost of all. Depreciation. This is also where the internet can be extremely misleading. You've probably seen the statistic that Mustangs lose only about 22% of their value over 5 years. That number may be real, but it isn't necessarily your number because that's a blended Mustang figure. It can include 4-cylinder EcoBoost, different trims, different transaction prices, and a much lower starting price than the GT you're looking at. A roughly $50,000 GT is not the same economic asset as a $32,000 Mustang. Kelly Blue Book currently projects roughly $25,800 in depreciation over 5 years for a 2026 GT. That's roughly $430 a month in lost value. And that's the number most buyers never put into their monthly budget. You buy the car, 5 years later, you sell it for considerably less. That difference is the cost of owning the asset. And this is why there isn't one magical depreciation number. It depends on the purchase price, mileage, condition, trim, market conditions, and what the car is actually worth when you sell it. Depreciation is the cost of using the car's value. Here's the 5-year math. Assume 15,000 miles a year, 5 years, 75,000 total miles, decent credit, a reasonably negotiated purchase price, average insurance conditions, and normal ownership rather than tracking the car every weekend. Here's the rough 5-year economic cost. About $25,800 in depreciation, $8,300 in financing interest, roughly $10,000 in insurance, about $21,000 in fuel, roughly $4,100 in maintenance, around $2,940 in tires, and about $3,300 in sales tax. That's roughly $75,500 over 5 years, or about $1,260 a month in real economic costs. And here's where people make a mistake. That's not the same thing as saying you're going to only legitimately pay $1,260 every month. Your actual cash outflow is different and higher because you're making a loan payment, buying fuel, paying insurance, maintaining the car, and eventually selling an asset that is lost value. That's the distinction between cash flow and economic costs. The payment is only one line on the entire spreadsheet. It isn't the spreadsheet. And that's actually the most important part of the entire exercise. Almost none of the variation in ownership costs comes from the Mustang itself. It comes from your decisions. So, if you're thinking about buying a Mustang GT, don't ask yourself, can I afford the payment? That's the easiest number on the entire spreadsheet. Ask yourself whether you can afford the 7 bills standing quietly behind it. The sales tax, the interest, insurance, fuel, maintenance, tires, and depreciation. Because the real cost of a Mustang GT isn't what Ford puts on the window. It's what the car costs you after you drive it home. And if you understand that number before you buy it, then you can decide whether the GT is actually affordable for you, not just whether you can get the keys. Let us know in the comments what car you would love for us to do the economics on next, and be sure to subscribe.